What's up YouTube, Amy'sbro here, and for this video we are going to be discussing the opening episode of Sailor Moon Crystal. And I'm not happy. Not in the least. There was a lot of changes done that when I saw them, and even if they were like minor tweaks to characters, they annoyed me. Like, legitimately annoyed me. Okay, so I'm going to get that straight now, and we'll go over them as we get into the actual discussion. But also, I'm going to bring this up now because people are going to say, in the show's defense, it looks like they're keeping it closer to the manga. Okay. When the original anime aired in Japan, it was 200 episodes. Okay. When the live-action series, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, aired in Japan, that was 49 episodes. That was a quarter, almost, that was, a quarter of the episodes from the actual anime. Because they were getting it closer to the manga, but there was still 49 episodes. Now, while I will admit that I did not finish the live action, I will tell you that I actually enjoyed that immensely. I will tell you that I actually enjoyed that probably a lot more than I did the original anime. So now, they decided they were going to go and chop the number of episodes down again. This time to 26. Okay, because they wanted to keep it closer to the manga for the new anime. Cool. I'm fine with that. Here's where we run into a problem. Did you know, kids, that the original manga is 13 for the section of the series that they're dealing with, the Dark Kingdom? It is actually 13 acts. 13. And they're doing 26. This tells me there's going to be some episodes in there that are filler. Okay. Well, they wanted to make it last a whole year. So, okay. We're going to completely, give that a pass. But what are you going to do with these other 13 episodes that add to the story instead of making it look like padding? That's going to be our first problem. Because I did, before I watched the first episode, I went and I looked, or was it after? It was either before or after. I went and I looked through the mangas, and I wanted to see how many acts, how many acts the actual arc that they're covering in the Dark Kingdom actually is. It's 13, which is about 2.5 books, okay, from the actual manga, which means you legitimately would only be covering, you're not even at a quarter of the books yet. So you have a lot more material to cover. Which also tells me they're going to be redoing eventually RS, Supers, and Stars. If it gets that far. And chances are it will. But here's the thing. A lot of the things they did aesthetically, I can't say I was really a fan of. Okay, let's look at this. The theme song, I don't know why. Maybe I'm too steeped in the old school, but I still prefer, as far as the anime goes, Moonlight Densetsu, Moonlight Destiny. I also prefer, if we were going through and watching the live action Kid Sailor Dream, which was the actual opening to the live action series. Okay? I enjoyed those immensely. And you give me this theme song and it's like, really? Really? Alright. Put my hands up. So you had that. And that was kind of like, alright. Mind you, I never heard... I knew they were changing it, but I didn't know what it was going to sound like. Then I heard it and I'm like, really? So there was that. Now, we have to talk about a bit of the art direction. I'm trying to remember what movie. I know that one of the movies used a very similar art style than what that compares to what they used here at certain points. I remember that. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I know they used it in the flashback sequences of some of the episodes back in the original Sailor Moon. But that was in 1990, in the 1990s, and for us, 1995 to 2000, and they used it. It's 2014. To me, it's not like they really did anything spectacular with the new animation. Like I mentioned, they changed Haruka's hair color to an almost blonde. Shingo, who is Usagi's brother, went from being a brunette to a blonde. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing? Because, okay, do it this way. You got Usagi, who's a blonde, right? You have Haruka, who's kind of a blonde. You have Shingo, who's a blonde. And when she comes in, Minako. So you're going to have like 4 characters, at least with blonde hair. And if they do eventually get to the S season, and they redo it, you're going to bring in Haruka. You're going to have like 5 characters with blonde hair. I'm sorry. Unless Sammy eventually gets a dye, or unless Shingo actually gets a dye job, that's going to be overkill. I'm sorry. It's like, why would you give Shingo blonde hair? Really? Here's the other thing, right? If you've read the manga, and I'm deliberately going to go ahead and read Act 2, just so I have a clue as to what they're going to do with Mercury. It is anything, however, like what they've done in the original anime or in Pretty Guardian, where she went to a cram school or she was going to a computer school or whatever, then we already know it. Do you see what I'm saying? By the way, I thought I would mention this while I'm thinking of it. The brooch that Usagi was wearing, which when I looked at that, I was kind of like, really? That doesn't look like something that I would expect, Sailor Moon to wear, and not in a good way. Okay? But, anyway, if you notice the little pearls or gems on the thing, the one on the bottom is blue, that represents Mercury. The one on the left, represents Jupiter. The one up top represents Mars, and the one on the right represents Venus. Did you notice that? Because I did the first time, but I really paid attention to it this time. I don't know why I'm as heartbroken as I am, and I shouldn't be. But the fact is, I wasn't, like, I was kind of excited, and then when I realized, oh my god, they're just redoing the entire arc from a manga, or they're just basically retelling the same stuff. Because I don't think I would be this annoyed if I knew that this was actually going to be a 6th season instead of retelling a season that I've already seen at least twice. And that was a concern that I had, if you recall, when when we were leading up to this, because we already know the story. What surprise are you going to show us in 20? Even if they threw a monkey wrench in, they said, we're going to turn Sailor Mercury evil again. Well, we've already seen that. Anybody that's actually bothered to watch the live action, which I highly recommend, by the way. Otherwise, you're not really going to get your money's worth for the entire year. You know, I actually, out loud, was saying this to myself. Thank God that animes like Dramatical Murder and Love Stage, 2 BL animes, by the way, are premiering soon. Matter of fact, Manga Comparison just premiered today as of this recording, tomorrow for the rest of you. Because I'm going to be watching that, and I'm going to be doing a first impressions video on that. And eventually I'm also going to be sitting down and rewatching Lakota de Oro, because I have to get ready to watch Blue Sky, which I'm actually looking forward to a lot. But the first impression that this series has given me hasn't been a good one. I can safely say I have been more alarmed by what I saw, because I already know everything. You know what? One of my favorite expressions is, if you know everything, then you don't really know nothing. Okay? Well, here's the thing. If you know the way this story is going to play out, then tell me how they're going to surprise you. Tell me how, over the next 26 episodes, over the next year that this Sailor Moon series is going to be around, tell me how they're going to wow you, how they're going to surprise you, how they're going to shock you. Because 95% of us already know the story. And until you give me something that makes me go, yeah, I'm thrilled to see next week's, or the episode in the next 2 weeks. Which, oh, by the way, we should also remember, not only is there Love Stage, not only is there Dramatical Murder, there's the new Black Butler, there's K-Mystic Kings movie coming out. There's a lot of stuff now coming up between this past Saturday and 2 weeks from Saturday. And I got news for you. I'm looking forward to all that a lot more than I'm looking forward to the next couple of episodes of Sailor Moon. That's something that I never thought I would say. And I'm looking forward to 2015, because in 2015 we have the next season of Udapri, and we have Kuroko's basketball coming out. And god damn if I'm not happy about that. Anywho, if you're a new person to the Sailor Moon fandom, you'll get a kick out of this. For everybody else, I don't see how you can watch this, to be honest, because you already know the story. Sorry, gang. Take it easy.